Have you ever wondered how some individuals seem to effortlessly draw people's attention? Or perhaps you found yourself struggling to understand how to create a genuine and meaningful connection with someone you care about. The answer might lie in Stoic philosophy. Yes, you heard right. Stoic philosophy, a school of thought rooted in ancient Greece, offers powerful tools that go beyond mere superficial attraction. Today, we're going to explore how Stoic principles of virtue, self-awareness, and self-mastery can transform not just how we attract others, but also how we establish richer and more meaningful relationships. Because at the end of the day, seduction is not just a game of attraction, but an art of human connection. So, stay with us as we unravel the secrets of combining Stoic wisdom with the art of seduction. This will be a fascinating journey you won't want to miss. Let's begin. Self-awareness. If you want to discuss the art of seduction from a Stoic perspective, you can't overlook the immense value of self-awareness. Imagine for a moment that you're in a room full of people and someone catches your eye. What's the first thing you do? If you know yourself well, you'll act in a way that reflects your true essence, and that's magnetically attractive. Self-awareness is not a superficial matter. It's not just about knowing your likes and dislikes. It goes much deeper, reaching the core of your desires, values, and limitations. The Stoics, with their love for wisdom and living in harmony with nature, would consider this crucial. Knowing who you are allows you to live in a way that's in harmony with your deepest nature. This not only makes you happy, but also extremely attractive to others. Don't underestimate the power of authenticity in the world of seduction. People can sense when you're genuine and when you're acting according to a pre-established script. By knowing yourself, you become confident. And that confidence doesn't come from an inflated sense of ego or a pose, but from a clear and honest recognition of what you can offer to others and what you expect in return. This kind of self-awareness is not something achieved overnight. It's a journey that requires time, reflection, and effort. You might journal, meditate, or simply have meaningful conversations with people who matter to you to deepen your understanding of yourself. The more you know yourself, the more attractive you'll become, not because you've changed who you are, but because you're more you than ever before. And this is where a lack of self-awareness can become detrimental, especially in the realm of seduction. If you don't know yourself, you might end up seeking relationships for the wrong reasons, like mere validation or fear of loneliness. These aren't healthy foundations for a relationship and often lead to unhappy outcomes. So if you're interested in mastering the art of seduction from a Stoic perspective, start by getting to know yourself. This will not only improve your romantic relationships, but all areas of your life. You'll be free to be who you truly are, and that's the most pure and powerful form of human attractiveness. Self-confidence. Self-confidence is another essential pillar when it comes to seduction, especially from a Stoic angle. The confidence we're talking about here isn't a superficial projection or a mask we wear to impress others. It's a genuine feeling that emerges from deep self-awareness and acceptance of oneself, something we've already discussed. Self-confidence means having faith in your abilities, your decisions, and most importantly, your value as a human being. And in the context of seduction, this confidence is palpable. Think about how you feel when you're in the presence of someone who is truly confident. It's not arrogance you sense, but rather a kind of aura that attracts you, an energy that makes you want to get to know that person more. The Stoics taught that this confidence doesn't come from external conditions like physical appearance, social status, or wealth. Instead, it comes from living a life in accordance with virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By incorporating these values into your daily life, you gain an unshakable confidence that isn't affected by the vicissitudes of life. That's true confidence, and it's immensely attractive. One of the most effective ways to develop this confidence is through continuous and conscious practice of self-reflection and self-analysis. The more you know yourself, the more confident you'll feel in your actions and decisions, which in turn will make you behave in a way that attracts others toward you. confidence also feeds on competence. Knowing you can handle whatever life throws at you not only makes you feel more secure, but also projects an image of resilience and adaptability, qualities many find attractive. But it's crucial to remember that true confidence isn't infallibility. It doesn't mean you won't have moments of doubt or uncertainty. What it does mean is that even in those moments, you have the ability not to let those feelings dominate you. You can move through fear and doubt without letting them paralyze you, and that's something people will notice and value. In summary, self-confidence is an amalgamation of self-acceptance, competence, and a deep sense of your own worth. It's an attractive quality in any context, but in the realm of seduction, it's absolutely invaluable. And from a Stoic perspective, it's also the logical consequence of living a life aligned with virtue. It's in itself an art form, the art of knowing, accepting, and projecting the true you into the world in a way that invites others to do the same. Effective communication. Effective communication is an art in itself, and in the context of seduction, it's an indispensable skill. But when we talk about communication from a Stoic standpoint, we're considering something beyond the simple transmission of messages or the eloquent articulation of words. We're talking about the ability to connect on a deeper level, to listen as much as speak, to understand and be understood. The Stoics value clarity, honesty, and simplicity in communication. In the act of seduction, this translates into authentic and meaningful interaction. It's not about games or manipulative tactics. It's about showing yourself as you are and allowing others to do the same. Because true seduction isn't the act of deceiving or conquering someone. It's the act of inviting someone into a genuine connection. The Stoics also talk about the power of being present, a vital skill in any form of communication. In today's fast-paced world where distractions are omnipresent, the simple act of being fully present in a conversation has become something radical and, in many cases, extremely attractive. Being present allows you to listen actively, catch nuances in voice or facial expression, and respond in a more authentic and considered manner. It creates a space for the conversation to flow and for both parties to feel seen and heard. The ability to ask open and meaningful questions is another facet of effective communication. Not questions for the sake of filling an awkward silence, but questions designed to truly know the other person. Questions that invite dialogue and reflection. Through conversation, you can find common ground or even interesting divergences that invite further discussion. This not only shows that you care about what the other person has to say, but it can also open the door to a deeper connection. Communication also includes nonverbal language, the way you maintain eye contact, your body language, even your tone of voice. All are channels that convey information about you. An open posture, firm but kind eye contact, and a clear, calm voice can be surprisingly effective in creating an atmosphere of trust and attraction. Effective communication is ultimately a two-way street. It's about both speaking and listening, both expressing and receiving. And in the act of seduction, it's the tool that allows you to reach the heart of the other person, both literally and figuratively. Communication is the bridge you build between two souls, and how you build it can determine the quality and depth of the connection you ultimately establish. From a Stoic perspective, to communicate effectively is to communicate virtuously, with honesty, integrity, and the genuine intention to contribute something meaningful to the human dialogue. Empathy and understanding. Empathy and understanding are central qualities in any meaningful human relationship, and in the context of seduction, they are absolutely crucial. But from a Stoic viewpoint, these qualities take on even deeper dimensions. The Stoics believed in living in accordance with nature, and one of the most beautiful and complex parts of our human nature is our capacity to feel and understand the emotions of others. Empathy goes beyond simply understanding someone's feelings. It's feeling with that person. It's like an emotional bridge that removes the isolation and loneliness that often separate us. When we show empathy towards someone, we're engaging in an incredibly powerful act that affirms our essential connection as human beings. Imagine how impactful this can be in the context of a romantic relationship or a seductive connection. Empathy can be the spark that ignites a larger fire, the foundation on which a deeper connection can be built. In today's world, where many interactions are superficial and based more on appearance than substance, genuine empathy is a rarity that can make you stand out. It's not about sympathy or pity, but about an authentic connection that comes from a place of deep understanding and sharing. It allows you to see beyond the masks we all wear and touch the very core of another person. And this ability isn't just attractive, it's absolutely captivating. From a Stoic perspective, understanding is equally vital. The Stoics teach us to seek the truth, to question our assumptions, and to be willing to change our minds. In the context of seduction, understanding the other person means seeing beyond first impressions and stereotypes. It means dedicating time and energy to really understand who this person is, what motivates them, what scares them, what excites them. Understanding allows you to adapt and respond in a way that is both genuine for you and meaningful for the other person. A Stoic approach to empathy and understanding also helps you maintain a certain equanimity. It allows you not to take things too personally and, in turn, prevents you from projecting your own insecurities or expectations onto the other person. By practicing empathy and understanding, you cultivate a connection that is mutually enriching. It's a process where both parties gain. You become more attractive to others while simultaneously enriching your own emotional and intellectual life. At the end of the day, empathy and understanding aren't just seduction tactics. They are ways of being that enrich every aspect of our lives. They make us better friends, better partners, and yes, better lovers. From a Stoic viewpoint, they also bring us closer to virtue, to a well-lived life, and ultimately, to a more lasting and meaningful happiness. Cultivating mystery. Mystery has long been a classic tactic in seduction. However, in the context of Stoicism, the concept of mystery takes on a deeper connotation, transcending the simple hide-and-seek game often characterizing the early stages of a relationship or interaction. Here, mystery is a manifestation of the complexity and depth inherent in the human condition, a reality that Stoicism invites us to confront with curiosity, reverence, and a sense of wonder. Stoics teach us to take nothing for granted, to question our assumptions, and to be open to life's surprises. When applied to relationships and seduction, fostering mystery isn't about being deliberately elusive or enigmatic. It's about acknowledging that each individual is a universe of experiences, emotions, and thoughts, never fully comprehensible or definable. This respect for the intrinsic mystery of another is, in itself, a powerful form of seduction. Cultivating mystery also means having a rich inner life, filled with passions, interests, and curiosities that make you irresistibly attractive to others. Not because you're an unresolved enigma, but because you reflect the human capacity for awe and wonder, for emotional depth and intellectual complexity. In the game of seduction, the real mystery isn't knowing when to send the next text or what to say to appear clever. It's the intrigue that comes from being an authentic, complete, and constantly evolving person. From a Stoic viewpoint, cultivating mystery also offers the additional benefit of helping maintain a certain emotional distance and perspective, key to not falling into unhealthy obsession or attachment. It helps you appreciate the present moment without getting caught in worries about what comes next. After all, in Stoic philosophy, everything is ephemeral, all is in constant change, and true power lies in our ability to accept, adapt, and find meaning in this perpetual flow of life. Thus, mystery becomes more than a seduction technique. It becomes a way to approach the world and the people around us with an open mind and a willing heart. In seduction, as in life, this approach not only makes us more attractive to others, but also enriches our own existential journey, bringing us a step closer to the kind of wisdom and virtue the Stoics aspire to. Detachment. Detachment. The term might sound a bit cold and impersonal, especially when discussing relationships and seduction. But in the context of Stoicism, detachment is, in fact, a tremendously liberating and empowering force. This is where Stoicism and the art of seduction converge in a truly impactful way. Stoics teach that detachment doesn't mean indifference or lack of care. Rather, it's about freeing ourselves from the bondage of our uncontrolled emotions and desires. It's about recognizing that the only thing we have total control over is our own mind and how we react to life's circumstances. In the realm of seduction, this translates into the ability to maintain calm, composure, and authenticity, regardless of whether the person you're interested in responds as you hoped or not. Practicing detachment frees us from the expectations and anxieties that often hinder genuine seduction. You're no longer caught in thoughts like, will they like me? Or, what if they reject me? Because you understand these are external factors beyond your control. What you can control is how you present yourself, how you respect the other person as a free individual, and how you maintain integrity in your actions. Instead of placing the other person on a pedestal and making the relationship a source of personal validation, detachment allows you to appreciate them for what they truly are, another human being on their own journey of growth and self-discovery. This perspective not only makes you more attractive in the eyes of the other person, but also creates a space for a deeper and more meaningful connection. Instead of a power play and validation, seduction becomes a genuine exchange between two individuals who recognize and value each other's complexity and dignity. This conscious detachment allows you to live in the moment more fully, enjoying the interaction for what it is, rather than what it might mean for your ego or future. Seduction then becomes a delicate dance with the present, an act of mutual appreciation experienced but not possessed. And in this space of freedom and acceptance, deeper and more gratifying connections often naturally arise. Ultimately, Stoic detachment in the context of seduction isn't a strategy to win someone's love or admiration. It's a practice for winning yourself, for finding peace and fulfillment in your own company. And paradoxically, it's this sense of personal fulfillment that makes you irresistibly attractive to others. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, a quality so sought after yet often so misunderstood. It's a concept that has garnered a lot of attention in recent years, and for good reason. Emotional intelligence is the bridge that connects our own awareness of ourselves with our understanding of others. In the world of seduction, and indeed in all our human interactions, emotional intelligence is an immensely powerful tool. The Stoics teach the importance of knowing and understanding our own emotions so we can interact with the world more effectively. By being attuned to your own emotions, you're better able to regulate them. This means you can maintain calm and balance even in emotionally charged situations, which is an extremely attractive skill in any interpersonal relationship. But emotional intelligence goes beyond understanding your own emotions. It's also about being highly aware and sensitive to the emotions of others. This involves truly listening, not just hearing. It means picking up on the nonverbal cues, those subtleties in tone of voice or body language that convey what words often cannot. And it's in these details where true connection is established in a seductive interaction. But why is this particularly Stoic? Because Stoic philosophy teaches us to respond rather than react. It tells us that while we can't control the emotions and actions of others, we can control our own responses. Emotional intelligence gives us the ability to respond appropriately, justly, and yes, seductively. It gives us the wisdom to know when to approach and when to maintain distance, when to speak and when to listen, when to reveal and when to maintain a bit of mystery. Emotional intelligence equips you with the ability to make the other person feel seen, heard, and understood. And in a world where so many of us feel misunderstood or overlooked, this ability is absolutely irresistible. It's not just a tool for seduction, it's a means to connect more deeply with others and ultimately with yourself. It gives you the ability to engage in the kind of interactions that are meaningful, rewarding, and truly connected. So, if you're looking to embody seduction in its most pure and authentic form, cultivate your emotional intelligence. Learn to be present both for yourself and others, and you'll see how the doors to genuine connection and irresistible allure open before you. Self-care. Self-care, a topic often relegated to the background but fundamental in the art of seduction. While it might seem more related to ego or vanity, from a Stoic perspective, it's profoundly significant. Why? Because self-care isn't merely an act of self-indulgence, but an act of self-respect and, ultimately, self-love. The Stoics teach that virtue is born from self-mastery and self-understanding, and part of that understanding involves recognizing our own needs, physical, emotional, and spiritual. By taking care of yourself, you're establishing a space from where you can interact with the world in a more harmonious and effective manner. You can't pour from an empty jar, as the saying goes. So, what does this mean in practical terms? It means that nutrition, exercise, hygiene, and rest aren't mere trivialities. They're essential components of your overall well-being. When you feel good in your body, that well-being radiates outward, affecting the way you present yourself and consequently how others perceive you. A well-cared-for body isn't just more attractive from a superficial standpoint. It also becomes a more efficient vehicle for your energy and intentions. But let's not stop at the physical. Self-care also involves taking time for introspection, for cultivating the mind and spirit. This could translate into practices like meditation, reflective reading, or simply taking a moment to breathe and recalibrate during a busy day. When you feel internally balanced, you have much more to offer in any interaction, seductive or otherwise. This is an act of empowerment. Nothing is more seductive than someone who radiates an authentic sense of personal power, and the surest way to do that is through diligent self-care. Someone who cares for themselves shows that they value their own existence, and that sense of self-worth is magnetic. In summary, self-care is a way of preparing yourself for life and, in this context, for the game of seduction. If you can learn to see yourself as someone worthy of care and, yes, seduction, then it becomes much more natural to convey that belief to others. You're not trying to convince someone else of your worth. You're presenting your value in a way that's nearly undeniable. It's a way of saying, I respect myself enough to present the best version of myself, and in doing so, I invite you to see and respect me in the same way. It's a beautiful, authentic dance, and one well worth learning. Respect and consent. Respect and consent are pillars that not only enrich our emotional and social life, but are fundamental in the art of seduction. Why? Because at the end of the day, seduction isn't just about attracting someone. It's about creating a space of trust and reciprocity where both individuals can freely express themselves. In an era of personal empowerment and social awareness, the importance of mutual respect and consent in any interaction, especially those of an intimate nature, cannot be understated. This is where the wisdom of Stoicism shines brightly. Stoics teach that our primary obligation is to live in accordance with nature, which includes recognizing and respecting the inherent dignity of other human beings. Respecting another's space, boundaries, and agency is crucial. This goes beyond simply not doing something the other person doesn't want. It involves open and honest communication. It involves asking, listening, and making sure any advance or gesture is well received. Consent isn't a checkbox to be marked once and then forgotten. It's a continuous dialogue. This practice not only increases your chances of forming a meaningful connection, but also dispels the fog of misunderstandings that often lead to negative or even traumatic experiences. Through the lens of Stoicism, this practice isn't just ethical, but also a form of self-control and virtue. It's an expression of wisdom and justice, where we recognize that the other individual isn't a means to an end, but an end in themselves. In a culture that often treats seduction as a power game or transaction, respect and consent are revolutionary acts. While it's true that there's a certain electricity in the uncertainty often surrounding the initial moments of attraction, that electricity should never come from a guessing game about boundaries and consent. True mastery in the art of seduction lies in being able to navigate those exciting moments without losing sight of the shared humanity that makes us worthy of respect and dignity. Respect and consent also offer the opportunity for a deeper connection, to find the kind of intimacy that derives not just from physical attraction, but from the meeting of two minds and two souls. In this sense, you're not just practicing seduction, but also building the foundation for a more meaningful and enriching relationship, even if that relationship is transient. So, as you embark on the complex and thrilling journey that is the art of seduction, make respect and consent your faithful companions. You might be surprised to discover just how deep and rewarding. Authentic connection. Authentic connection is like the jewel in the crown of the art of seduction, arguably the ultimate goal of the entire process. Beyond superficial attraction, flirtation, and the play of seduction, what we truly want, deep down, is a genuine connection with another person. Not just a meeting of eyes, but a meeting of souls. And this is where the principles of Stoicism can really light our way. At the heart of Stoicism is the idea of living in accordance with our human nature, which means living in community and forming meaningful connections with others. In this philosophy, there's an emphasis on authenticity and personal integrity. This is crucial because in seduction and in life in general, it's easy to get lost in the masks we wear, the roles we play, and the images we project. But these masks are just that, external layers hiding our true essence. And when it comes to forming an authentic connection, these layers need to be peeled back. Connecting authentically means being brave in your vulnerability. It means showing not only your best self, but also your insecurities, your fears, your flaws. It's about being transparent in your intentions and desires. This can be scary, yes, but it's also what makes the connection so valuable. By being authentic, you give permission to the other to be so too. And when both people meet in this space of authenticity, the connection becomes transcendent. It's like both are tuned into the same frequency, a place where words often fall short of describing what's truly felt. Authentic connection is more than just physical attraction or a temporary affinity. It's a meeting of minds, of hearts, of souls. When you experience this kind of connection, you feel seen, understood, and accepted in your entirety. This also relates to the previous point about respect and consent. An authentic connection is one where both parties respect each other and consent not just physically, but in the emotional and spiritual exploration that comes with it. From the Stoic perspective, authenticity and genuine connection are forms of virtue, the way we live in accordance with the best of our human nature. Here, in this space of truth and vulnerability, we find one of the richest and most rewarding experiences of human existence. Therefore, as you practice the art of seduction, remember that the goal isn't to conquer or win something from someone else, but to find common ground where both souls can dance. Because at the end of the day, what we all seek, beyond passion and excitement, is a connection that makes us feel alive, that makes us feel human, that makes us feel authentic. And that, dear friend, is the art of seduction in its highest form. Final reflection. What have we learned throughout this journey into the art of seduction through the lens of Stoicism? We've uncovered that seduction is not merely a game of attraction and rejection, but rather an opportunity for growth, to understand ourselves and others on a much deeper level. Each point discussed today provides you with the tools to become not just a better seducer, but also a better version of yourself. From self-awareness and self-confidence to effective communication and emotional intelligence, these are vital skills for any aspect of your life, not just for seduction. But if there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's the importance of authentic connection. Because behind all the fascination we feel for another person, what we truly crave is to feel seen, understood, and accepted in our entirety. And the wonder is, that by practicing authenticity and vulnerability in our interactions, we not only draw closer to others, but also cultivate a deeper and more loving relationship with ourselves. So why not carry these principles with you? By applying them in your life, you'll become more attractive to others and also find yourself living a fuller, more meaningful life in harmony with your deepest values. If this video has offered you any value, please subscribe for more content to help you live a more authentic and meaningful way. And remember, in the great art of life, as in seduction, everything starts and ends with you. Before I go, I want to remind you that if you're interested in delving deeper into Stoicism, I've left several links in the description to some wonderful books. These are books that have positively impacted me, and I believe you'll love them too. Don't forget to check out the description below and continue to nourish that powerful mind of yours. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.